Welcome to Books, Booze, and Murder. I'm Anna.
I'm Alexa.
We're two besties who love to read and have an obsession with true crime.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Welcome to August, my birthday month.
Yeah. It is your whole entire birthday month since Miss End of August.
I'm a Leo. What do you want me to tell you? Hear me roar.
Yeah, we know.
You're like, shut the fuck up.
It's a Leo thing. It's fine.
That's all right. You're Scorpio. That's why we mesh so well.
I don't give a fuck, and I'll tell you straight up. Yeah.
Oh, welcome to August. So before I forget, for all of our listeners, whenever you may be listening to this, we do have stuff to do today. So we're going to be a little bit more on task than usual. Yeah.
Only a little, probably.
Yeah.
To be very honest.
So if we kind of have a little less chit chat than usual of the shenanigans, well, that's why. So either way, we're still sticking to everything. We still have drinks in hand. It is hotter than fucking Hades. Welcome to August. But
over it already.
Yeah, 100% over it. While the troll hole is cool, it's not cool enough for this weather and these temperatures.
It's humid and muggy.
It is.
That's the worst part about basements.
And this is why we're not meant for Florida.
Yeah. That's why I don't go to Florida ever, actually.
I think the last time I went down to Florida was in April of 2018.
There you go.
And I don't really miss it.
I was about to say, April's right on the cusp of it being like really hot.
Yeah, no, we went to Virginia for a family wedding. And then we're like, we need a vacation. And we went to Siesta Key.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now.
Forever ago, it feels like. But yeah, welcome to August. Yeah, so you want to dive on in? What do we got for drink?
All right. So we made ourselves a nice, cool, sweetish tea with some raspberry leaf tea, a little bit of simple syrup. And I just recently got back from a trip in Maine where I got a little a flavored simple syrup. It's a peach and thyme simple syrup.
Ooh.
So added a little bit of that in there and
gin.
Topped with some blueberries and raspberries and topped off with some gin. Nice standard crisp Tanqueray.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Here we go. Oh, yes. Yep. Cool.
And it's definitely cooling me down.
Good. Yeah, I need to keep drinking because I can already feel myself sweat and I just took a shower. It's great. It's great.
It's awful.
All right.
All
Let's get to the book because this one was good.
I enjoyed this book. There was definitely some times where I was like, that's weird. That's a little quirky, but we're going to go with it. This poor woman. So we're going to dive right on into The Maid by Nita Prose. This poor woman, Molly, she loves her job. She's a maid at a local hotel and adores restoring things to perfection. She goes to work every day with a spring in her step, eager to clean away the messes the hotel guests make in their rooms. She's always been a maid and lived with her grandmother until her death a few months ago. Still saddened by the recent loss, she doesn't have many friends to confide in, and because she finds it difficult to read people's expressions, many of her coworkers think her odd and take advantage of her hard work and naivete whenever they can. When we say odd, I mean Molly is probably on the autism spectrum. She cannot read social cues and almost sees some of the people that she likes as good stand-up employees. One such character is Rodney, who is a bartender at the same hotel that Molly works at. Another is her ex-boyfriend that robbed her of her nest egg before her grandmother died. But due to her shame, she never told her grandmother. Without another source of income helping her out with rent, Molly is chronically late with rent and is constantly fighting for enough money to pay for food. Now, Molly does have a couple true friends at the hotel that help her along the way, or just like her and are just caught up with the wrong people. One such person is the doorman, Mr. Preston, whose granddaughter ends up representing Molly in the murder case when she is convicted. We'll get there, I promise. Another person is Juan Manuel, who is an immigrant whose visa expired and is working with some scandalous people so he can get the rest of his family over the border with the help of Rodney, who is actually a scumbag. Here is how this weird little love nest has been working. Molly has a crush on Rodney and believes that Rodney likes her back since they have already been on a quote-unquote date. But in reality, Molly accidentally caught Rodney, Juan Manuel, and some thugs in one of the empty rooms of the hotel cleaning up after an all-night drug packaging operation. Molly, being exceptionally naive, starts cleaning up after them, thinking that this room is just particularly dusty and dirty. So we can all guess as to what it might be. And now Molly has been unknowingly roped into helping with this drug ring because of her exceptionally caring heart. She believes that she is helping Juan Manuel not be sleeping on the streets, so she gives him a room to sleep in every night, when in reality, he is just packaging drugs for Rodney and the other nefarious people. So now let's get into the meat and bones of this story now that I've given you some background detail. One day, Molly discovers a dead body in the bed she's about to remake, and it's the hotel's most famous client, the wealthy Mr. Black. His younger wife, Giselle, is the main suspect. But when Molly's activities at the hotel are under the microscope by the local police officer in charge of the case, Molly falls under suspicion as well. She is caught up in this for a couple of reasons. One of them being she was the one cleaning the room. 2, she did not immediately call down to the front desk for help because she fainted when she saw Mr. Black, as I think I would as well. 3rd, she is friendly with Giselle and has listened to her woes concerning Mr. Black, who is not the best husband to Giselle or to his ex-wife. But Giselle always talks to Molly when Molly comes to clean the suite, almost like she is looking for a friend as well. This is how it comes about that Molly has Giselle Black's gun that was left in the suite in an air duct, and, of course, the police find it.
Mm-hmm.
4th, there are drug remnants on her cart from moving Juan Manuel's bag of clothes between rooms on her maid cart. So now, of course, because she's struggling to pay her rent, keep her job, and determine who really killed Mr. Black so she can clear her name, Molly has her hands full. But she discovers that relying on one's true friends is the only way out of this mess. Pun intended. She must create a plan to catch the real killer along with her friends. Molly has to figure out how to accomplish this after being fired, arrested, and unsure of who to trust. She used to only trust her grandmother, and her grandmother did her best to instill in Molly the ways that Molly could read people without actually knowing how to. Now, Molly's poor grandmother died a very slow and painful death, but made Molly to promise to help her when the time came to, quote-unquote, end her own life. That was a little bit of a mind-blowing realization right there. I thought it was kind of wild that the grandmother overdosed on her painkillers, but not enough to kill her, and made Molly put a pillow over her face to finish the job.
That was a hard ask.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard ask. But that's also how Mr. Black died. So even like as the reader, we really think, holy shit, did she do it? Did she really do it? And we just don't know. And she's just trying to get away with it. Like, because there's definitely some things where it's like there are breadcrumbs that just kind of are left. And it's like, wait, you're not being completely honest. What are you lying about? What do we not know? And it also turns out that Mr. Black was the head of the drug ring that Rodney was helping to run.
Oh, yeah.
While Rodney and Giselle were having an affair. Now, I truly think Giselle just wanted a friend and to feel loved. So yes, she did point the finger at Molly, but then tried to help her out and clear her name. The plan to clear Molly's name was a success when the police caught Rodney in the process of trying to clean up his own mess. And Giselle has fled the country and is taking care of herself without a man. There turns out to be enough evidence to convict Rodney, realize that Mr. Black was caught up in some unsavory stuff, and Juan Manuel is able to stay in the States while sending for his family to join him. Juan Manuel also moves in with Molly, and they end up dating and living very comfortably together. But as it turned out, it was the first Mrs. Black that killed Mr. Black, and Molly did help clean up after her. I was like, what?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So you did have something to do with it there, Miss Molly. Good golly, Miss Molly. Cheese and crow.
Yeah, that one I was like, say what?
Yeah, that was wacky. And I was still trying to figure out. So Mr. Preston and her grandmother were kind of like an item for a hot minute. Because it almost sounded like Mr. Preston was potentially like Molly's grandfather or almost grandfather at one point. Or it was like Molly's grandmother was the one who got away from Mr. Preston. Almost.
I mean, I definitely got the sense that the two were involved. Now I'm thinking about it even more in depth.
Right?
That's a very thought-provoking question. I did not. Yeah. Wow.
Because did we ever actually figure out like who the grandfather was? Like, did we ever figure out if the grandmother was married before?
Okay. People listening can't see my face right now. But
her wheels are spinning. It's still early right now, but her wheels are spinning slowly, and we're trying to figure this out. Because her mind might be blown a little bit.
Alexa, I really had not thought about that. And now whoa.
And now we're there. And now we're there, and we have a lot to think about.
Did you know you're potentially opening up a can of worms?
No. Because this was one of those things that I didn't even have written in here. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's how Mr. Preston is involved in all of this.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Right? Kooky.
Maybe. So I know, obviously we'll get back to the summary, but I know that there are a series of books. So maybe in other books, we'll find out a little bit more.
Ooh, we might have to find those now.
Yep.
Might have to go and find those and just get on that. Sounds like a good plan. All right. Deal. Break.
Maybe. No, I'm just very curious. All right, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. We'll have to dive deeper into this another day.
We will.
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
Cuckoo craziness.
Holy mackerel, my brain. All right.
That was the summary.
Look at you go.
That was it.
Well, I was waiting for you to keep reading.
No, I'm done now. That was it. I ended with it was the first Mrs. Black.
Yep.
And
well, Giselle left. And
yeah, she fled the country.
Yep. My brain. Yeah. I don't know about you, and I've mentioned this with other episodes with characters. My brain was just screaming bones the entire time.
There was definitely an aspect to it, but like Molly's smart. She's not nearly as smart as Brennan is, though. Like that's the only.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like can't like almost like but like Brennan almost chooses not to read faces. She's just like, I'm gonna say whatever I want. I don't care.
True.
But like with zero affect.
Yeah, true. And Molly was trying to gauge people's faces and memorize.
She was really trying very hard.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the writing style where you could tell that she was being taken advantage of. And you're like, Molly, you're being taken advantage of. Stop it. Stop it. And I don't know if I've ever read that in a book before.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have either. And
then I did think for a while that Juan Miguel was involved, especially when the detective comes to their apartment and everyone was there and he was nervous. I was like, do you have anything you're hiding? Do you have anything you're hiding? Is there something we should be knowing? I'm curious about that.
And yes, there was, I guess.
Yeah.
Was it Juan Manuel or Juan Miguel?
My notes say Juan Miguel.
Oh. I don't know. I forgot.
I read this book a few months ago. Cheryl. Fuck Cheryl.
I hate her. That head, yeah.
Yeah.
The head maid. She's awful.
I was like,
she's just a terrible, horrible, awful human.
Yeah. No, my blood pressure rose up a little bit when it came to her. I was like, you are a bitch.
You're a terrible person.
And then I am still glad that Molly got a promotion and a raise when she went back, but I still wouldn't have fully trusted the boss, like, at all.
Uh, it's it's tough there because it's like if you're a hotel manager and you have to do the right thing in that moment and fire the maid and then but then like you want to hire her back because you know she's really good at it and you know she's completely innocent, obviously. But like, I don't know. I never mistrusted him
Mhm.
per se. I just think he was kind of oblivious in the hotel industry.
He was such an overachieving people pleaser. And yeah.
Yes, yes. I think that was his biggest downfall was that he was a people pleaser.
Mhm. Um, and then did you ever question they're in New York City. There's a lot of Italian restaurants. Why the Olive Garden of all places?
Oh my gosh. I never questioned it until now, but knowing that Molly is also on that autism spectrum, it's kind of like she's going to go with what she knows is good. And let's be real, if you go to any high class Italian restaurant, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. And Molly and her grandmother didn't have a lot of money. Whereas, like, the Olive Garden is an easily affordable Italian meal. And then you have the endless salad and bread.
Valid. Valid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, what? But no, definitely the money situation makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, still going back to the grandmother's death, like
That was
was
a little bit of a
hard.
mind fuck there for me for a minute.
That was really hard.
That
I
was
was like, oh, this
wild.
poor woman. I mean, I understand when you're in a lot of pain and you're really sick, but oh, Molly, she's stronger than I think we give her credit for.
I think it's her complete inability to shut off her emotions. Where she's kind of like, where she just kind of said, this is what I promised my grandmother.
Mhm.
This is what's best for her. This is what needs to be done.
Yeah, true.
We made the promise to each other. I don't want to see her in pain. Emotion shut off. But she does get overwhelmed very easily.
Yes.
So I think that was why she originally fainted when she saw the Mr. Black, because it was very overwhelming and it was unexpected.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else was expected. She knew the next general steps in everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I just loved how all of her friends came together at the end to kind of help
Yeah.
set the scene. I was like, yes, there's people in her court and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one was super cute. I'm not gonna lie, I do think that the graphics for like the cover just are so close to Frida McFadden that I think
Yes.
for a while before you chose this, I was like, do I really want to read this? I'm not sure, but I'm so glad I did because it is so different.
Yeah, it's so different. Like it's not a Frida book.
No.
Obviously, it is
No.
not even close to a Frida book, but it is good.
Yeah.
It is still very, very good.
It's the quirky, funny crime book that's just it was a fun read.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really
It
fun
was
read.
fun and it was goofy and it was silly and it was slightly frustrating at points.
Yes. Slightly frustrating because you're just like, Molly, come
Molly,
on.
don't like him. Don't do it. Don't do that.
You're not dating. He doesn't give a shit about you.
I know.
Stop it.
Even poor Giselle, like I felt bad for her where I feel like she literally just wanted to be loved. She just wanted someone to care for her, care about her. She wanted to chill and relax. And I think she honestly thought Molly as a friend. But then when it came time, it was just, I need to do my own thing.
See, there was a portion of her that I didn't trust.
Oh, absolutely. Like she's a high-end trophy wife. So
Yeah.
there's obviously some sort of like self-preservation there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did definitely get the sense that she was trying to have like a genuine friendship with Molly, but I was like, But she did redeem herself when she sent money to Molly at the end. So I was like, okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was a fun ride.
Yeah.
I like the giggles.
Yes. Yes. I giggled a lot with this one.
All right. Well, look at us with our timing. We're doing well. You ready to pivot over?
True crime. Here we come.
Yes.
What do you got for us this month in the true crime realm?
So I wanted to focus on killing off a man.
Ooh.
So sources this month include Murder at the Motel. It's specifically season 1, episode 6, which I had never heard about it before I started doing this crime. And I was like, that's pretty bad that there could be a TV series based on murders in a motel. Like, say what?
Oh, goodness. I bet it's a great place to do it, though, because there's so much junk in motels. There's so much DNA in motels. It's like, whose whose DNA are we actually looking for?
Well, I knew I wanted to do a crime in a motel or a hotel. And like, as I've said before, like, usually when I find that one crime where like I'm vibing with it, I get carried off. And I almost did a crime in a hotel in Vegas, and I was just like, it's not working. So it's one of those things where I don't think we realize just how many deaths happen.
Oh, God, no.
And I don't think I want to either.
No. No, probably not.
Yep. So other sources include articles from the Baltimore Sun and then multiple news stations along with the victim's obituary. So let me put my drink down. All right. It's around 11 a.m. on January 5th, 2016, and a cleaning crew is making its way through the Deluxe Plaza Motel in Baltimore, Maryland. It's your stereotypical cheapo motel where tractor-trailer drivers can rest their heads, and addicts, unfortunately, often hunker down as well. The crew enters a room and discovers it to not only be a mess, but a male guest is unresponsive on the floor between the two beds. They call 911, but by the time medics arrive, the man has passed away. And this guy was 48-year-old Edward, or Eddie Yesaitis Jr., and he was a Navy veteran from Windsor, Connecticut. Eddie was born in October of 1967 in Connecticut, and when growing up, he was extremely close to his brother Michael. And when it came to academics, he was gifted. So Exhibit A is when his brother struggled with his homework, Eddie would be able to solve the problem and then would teach his brother the skill.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. When it came to getting his hands on something, he was able to independently figure it out. So Exhibit B is he'd pick up a guitar and without any lessons would just teach himself how to play.
Wow.
And then when it came to Jeopardy, he always knew the answers.
So he was another one who was probably on the spectrum.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Because it sounds like someone who's on the spectrum where he can just kind of pick it up and
or just extremely smart. Yeah.
It's very, very smart is very possible as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when it came to crossword puzzles, he was a master of them.
Nice.
So I'm like putting all this research together and I'm like, well, he makes me feel extremely stupid. In 1985, he graduated from high school, and about 2 years later, he enlisted in the Navy. In his 20-ish years in the service, he was a machinist and studied nuclear physics. Knowing how smart he was, this does not come as a surprise.
You know who else this reminds me of? Beth from the Rose Code.
Yes.
That was just a random thought that came into my brain right there.
We're just connecting all these characters and all these people. When the Gulf War came around, he saw combat. And like many soldiers, he saw some stuff and would never be the same. That said, unfortunately, like many that serve, Eddie lost part of his spunk as he got older. When he left the Navy, he moved down to Florida and rarely saw his family. So we're talking going from being really close to them, seeing them all the time, to seeing them every year and then potentially every other year.
Oh, wow.
In 2016, Eddie made his way back to Connecticut for the holidays. He spent some time with his dad and brother, and on their final night together, the brothers had a really cool guitar jam session. The next morning, their dad drove Eddie to the local Amtrak station where he would then ride to South Carolina. And so I don't know when Eddie moved from Florida to South Carolina. By this time, I wouldn't have been surprised if he did fully. But I did run across some obituaries, including his mom, his grandmother, and his grandfather, that led me to believe that at one point he was married, but the marriage ended well before all of this happened. So maybe this led him to moving away and starting afresh.
That's possible.
And maybe he had an addiction as well. Well, no, he does have an addiction. We'll get to it. So unfortunately, though, he never made it to South Carolina when he was being brought back. So according to Amtrak, on January 3rd, he had a bit too much to drink during his ride and ended up getting booted from the train car when it arrived at Baltimore's Penn Station.
Ooh.
This random station, unfortunately, would be his last stop,
Oh.
both on the train and in life. When Eddie entered the station in Baltimore, he tried calling his dad and a friend, but wasn't able to get through. And I'm thinking that maybe one or both didn't answer and then his phone died. That's my best educated guess. This is when he met a couple named Christopher and Angel. They were also at the station with nowhere to go, and Christopher loaned Eddie his phone to make some calls. This time, Eddie was able to get through to his dad. After getting off the phone, Christopher and Angel left the station and went back to the Deluxe Plaza Hotel with Eddie. And it was there that Eddie used his ID and credit card to book room 160 for all of them to stay in.
Oh.
Now, here's how Christopher and Angel got roped in along the way with a bit of their story. So Angel was from this area, and the two were living, shocker, at the Deluxe Plaza Motel before they ran out of money and got kicked out at the beginning of the new year. And that's when they bought one-way tickets to North Carolina on January 2nd. And we know this because they used their IDs to purchase said tickets, since that's obviously a requirement.
Right.
And the idea of them going south was to be closer to Christopher's family. Their problem was that the train didn't leave for 3 days.
Oh.
So since they were broke, they decided to sleep at the train station. And understandably, they were told they couldn't stay overnight and were asked to leave. And that's when they ran into Eddie and realized he could fund their addictions for a few days before they took off.
Ooh.
So they get to the motel, and Eddie and Christopher go out a few times to get booze and drugs, and the three get to partying. During the short period of time, Eddie's bank account drastically drops from $800 to $2.
Oh.
Keep in mind, rooms at this motel, I don't know why I keep saying that, are about $70 a night.
Yeah.
And then, as we know, things turned sour. And it's not exactly clear what went down, but Christopher and Angel claim that Eddie started making a move on Angel, and Christopher went ballistic. Eddie was very drunk when Christopher, and possibly even Angel, attacked him. Using fists and kicking, Eddie was beaten all over his body.
Oof.
His face, the back of his head and neck were so badly beaten that his skull was fractured and his hands and arms were bruised from blocking the blows.
Oof.
Like, that's just a, pun intended, low blow.
Yep.
He was also rolled up in one of the comforters when he was eventually found. And it's not clear to me when during this whole ordeal that he was rolled up, but he was alive when that happened. Very drunk, but alive. However, according to the medical examiner, the injuries were equivalent to those of a car accident.
Ooh.
So after the violence ensued, one of them took the time to smoke a cigarette and let its ashes fall on Eddie's body.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
You guys are a-holes.
Well, drug addiction will do that to you. Unfortunately.
Yep. Then they took off their clothes, put on Eddie's belongings, stole his phone and wallet, and got an Uber to the Amtrak station. It was there that they took all of his cash, but left behind everything else and disposed of the wallet outside the station. Then, acting like nothing had happened, they entered the station a little before 10 a.m., got on their train, and went to North Carolina to stay with Christopher's dad. And in Baltimore, as we know, the cleaning crew entered the room and called 911. When investigators were working through the crime scene, they were processing evidence, and that's when they noticed they noticed clothing that belonged to a female in a suitcase. Like, if you're gonna be that stupid, I don't know, just addiction.
Addiction.
You're not thinking.
That's literally all it is. It's addiction. One track mind.
Yes, absolutely. Along with the clothing was a receipt from a Dollar General located nearby, and they followed that lead. They reviewed surveillance footage from the store around the time the receipt was date and time stamped, and that's when a male and female were spotted. And they asked, who are they? The male's description did not match Eddie's based on the ID that was used to check into the room. So, in continuing to review surveillance footage, investigators saw two individuals leaving the motel room at 7:04 a.m., 4 hours before Eddie was discovered. These were the same individuals who were the Dollar General, so they're narrowing down their suspects. When Eddie's dad was contacted to let him know about his son's death, he provided them with a number that he received a call from. And that's how Christopher was tied in, since it was his phone. Before all of this happened, Christopher had used that exact same number to call 911 to report his girlfriend, Angel, had been overdosing in December of 2015.
Oh.
Obviously, days before this death happened. So, they're idiots. So once their names were run, their photos matched the video from the Dollar General and matched the body types of the individuals, with Eddie at the motel. Now, Christopher and Angel both had minor crimes under their belts, but nothing that shouted, "I'm a murderer." So mainly druggies with some minor assault charges.
Sure.
So the U.S. Marshals were brought in, given arrest warrants, and they got to work. Eventually, they contacted one of their offices in North Carolina, and those staff members located Christopher and Angel in his dad's house, and they were arrested. And they were still in possession of Eddie's clothing. Like, if you're going to kill a guy,
Goodness gracious.
get rid of the clothing.
Nope.
So after their arrest, they were questioned in Wilmington, North Carolina. Angel claimed that Christopher said Eddie was still alive when they left, and she'd take zero accountability in what happened to Eddie, and claimed that Eddie tried putting his hands on her.
Wow.
She was scared, and Christopher went crazy, and the guys got into a fight. Chris had been jumping on Eddie's back when he was on the ground, and was kicking and hitting him before putting a pillowcase over Eddie's face. And she wasn't fully cooperative overall in the interview room, and kept saying she knew she was going to prison for the rest of her life, so there's no point.
Wow.
Like, way to give up.
Okay, then.
So for Chris, after being read his rights, he asked for an attorney. He didn't want to get in trouble. He was already in trouble. But
You're
whatever.
already in trouble. You're fucked.
And eventually he did agree to talk. He said the same thing as Angel about the guy trying to touch Angel before they got into a fight. And during that, Eddie tried to keep them from leaving, and Christopher insisted that he'd only used his fist. However, there was a lamp that had blood on it, suggesting that was also used. Of course, he insisted they'd left the guy alive, and he denied robbing Eddie. When his story didn't completely align with Angel's, he, of course, lawyered up. He had a little bit of sense, but not much. So at this point, law enforcement was waiting on the lab to confirm DNA at the scene matched with DNA from Christopher and Angel, and all that was collected at the jail. After Christopher's interview, he asked what he was being charged with, and he was told first-degree murder. And Christopher said, "You know we didn't mean to kill that man."
Yeah, you're done now, bro. You're way past done now.
Yes.
Wow.
So, of course, a fire had taken place in the location where this comment was made a few months prior, so a video camera was not present for this.
Oh, of course.
But fortunately, multiple officers were present and could testify to it.
You morons.
I know, right?
You fucking dumbers. Good God.
So, Christopher and Angel were driven back to Maryland, where they were formally charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Obviously, the motivation was robbery, so that was added as well. And note, in Maryland, if someone dies during a felony, you're responsible for that death as if you committed murder. DNA, fingerprints, and video led these two idiots to this crime and allowed them to both go to trial quickly. Christopher decided to take a plea and pled guilty.
Good choice.
Angel refused and went on trial in 2017.
Wow.
He was sentenced to life, suspending 30 years, so aka 30 years in prison. Angel was convicted of murder and robbery and sentenced to life, suspending 50 years. Dumbass.
Yep.
So, of course,
I didn't do anything with me.
I know, right? So, of course, death never brings back a loved one, but Eddie's brother, Michael, takes solace in knowing that he had a wonderful childhood and part of an adult life with his brother. So that's my short and sweet tale story.
Nice short and sweet story.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I felt like it really aligned with the Maid on different levels, because ultimately when it comes down to it, there are a lot of dumbasses.
Fucking morons and
know,
drugs and ugh.
I
can't.
Drugs are awful.
Well, so did we ever figure out if Our main dude had a drug problem?
He did.
He did, okay.
Yep.
Because that was never, I don't think we ever actually specifically said that.
Yeah. So that was my bad. He definitely had, so he was kicked off of the Amtrak train
Because he was drunk.
He was drunk, and he
Okay.
did have an alcohol problem.
Okay.
Which was why it was kind of like he disconnected from family. He was in the throes of addiction.
Got it.
And he was involved in the other drugs that the other two were taking. So it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where
so sad.
Veterans just need those resources to be able to get through things they see.
Dude.
And knowing
wild.
Yeah. And knowing that he saw active combat in the Gulf War, it's like, oh, you deserved better.
It's like, yeah, you saw a lot. You saw more than you probably wanted to.
Mm-hmm. And did not deserve to die in this fluke way.
No.
And that was the biggest thing, was it's like, how do you end up in Baltimore of all places getting murdered when you're really from Connecticut but living in the South? Well, Amtrak got kicked off. Like,
trains are cheap.
Yeah, well, they're cheap, but also it was like just the timing. Wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I got. We're doing so well with our timing. I'm proud of us. What do we have for next month?
Well, both of us have enjoyed our Nora Roberts books.
Yes.
You definitely introduced me to them, and I realized that we had never actually done a Nora Roberts book on the podcast. So I'm like, we're going to pick a Nora Roberts book. So this is a twofer. This is Undone, 2 spellbinding stories from the Night Tales series. So our first one, Night Shield. Jonah Blackhawk knows trouble when he sees it, and Allie Fletcher definitely falls into that category. The lanky blonde isn't just a cop. She's also the police commissioner's daughter, which makes her doubly off limits. The day that she finishes her case and gets out of his life forever can't come soon enough for Jonah. But in the meantime, the memory of their passionate embrace threatens to consume him. And the second book is Night Moves. Maggie Fitzgerald has retreated from her former fast-paced life, seeking solitude to heal her broken heart. But her new landscaper, Cliff Delaney, is gruff and abrupt, and somehow irresistible. And when a body is found too close to home, shattering her peace entirely, Maggie is forced into the arms of the very man she finds so aggravating. The trouble is, Cliff is the prime suspect in the investigation. Has Maggie fallen for a good man with a rough exterior or a cold-hearted killer?
I'm so excited about this. We'll definitely talk about this more next month. But I also want to bring up a point that this is one of those books that was in Nora Roberts' like phase of more, I guess, shorter stories. So I actually have this book too. And it's under a different title.
That's hilarious.
So if you also see Night Tales, Night Shield, and Night Moves, it's the exact same stories.
I was about to say, the only one I don't have is, because Night Tale. This is Night Tales is what yours is called.
Yep.
But it's the same 2 books, Night Shield and Night Moves.
Yes.
Hilarious.
And then also on top of this, this is part of, I think, like this, it's the final book in the series. So obviously I read this years ago and I'm going to be rereading it for this episode, but the parents of Allie are from a previous book and we hear their love story.
Ooh.
So either way, this book about Allie and Jonah has my heart. I'll go into a little bit more during the episode, but I'm very excited.
Yay.
I'm so excited that you picked this. We're going to have to do more because I have a couple others that I'm like, I think these are going to be really good. But
fair enough.
In due time.
All in due time.
Yes.
Got to spread them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Share the love.
Yes. All right. So where can people find us?
Well, they can listen to our episodes on YouTube and Spotify at Books, Booze, Murder. They can follow along with the stories and the pictures and the lovely pretty drinks that we make on Instagram at Books, Booze, Murder, and on TikTok at Books, Booze, Murder Pod.
Yep. And until next time, bye-bye.
Toodles.